Hello everyone. Today we're going to check different future tenses. Now, we use different future tenses to talk about, obviously, the future. But we can use different structures to talk about the future. Okay, we can use many different ways to talk about the future. Let's check some of them. Probably you recognize some of them. First, we have be going to. Okay, for example, here we have this idea. I have tickets. Okay, I have tickets on my hand in this moment for a concert. So I am going to go to a concert. It's part of my plan. It's part of the activities that I want to do. So in this case, we are using the structure be going to and the verb in base form. Okay, we have be going to and the verb in base form. Obviously, the verb be has to adapt to the person. If it's I, you're going to say I am. If it's he, she, it, you're going to say is. And if it's we, you, they, you're going to use are. Okay, so remember the verb to be has to adapt to different situations. So that's the structure, be going to, and the verb in base form. Now, in what situations do we use this structure? We use this structure to talk about the future plans that we have. This part here, plans. Second type of future, will. Let's see the situation. Come to my party this weekend, says one person, and the other person answers, okay, I'll go, thanks. In this case, the structure that we're using for the future is the modal verb will. Okay, we're going to use the modal verb will and the verb in base form. Okay, I will go. That's it, simple, you see? Now, in what situations do we use will? We use will to talk about decisions we make in the moment. Okay, any decision we make in the moment, it's an instant decision. So that's when we use will. Okay, decisions we make in the moment. Like in this case, you see the person tells you, come to my party this weekend. And you didn't have any plans to go, but in that moment you decide to say, okay, I will go. So that's why it's a decision that you make in the moment. Okay, that's a decision you make in the moment. Now, there's another way to use will also for future. Look at the clouds. Okay, let's imagine you're with your friends in the park and you look up in the sky and you say, hey, look at the clouds. And your friend and you tell them, yeah, it will rain, I think. That's my opinion. I think it will rain. So you see the structure is the same, will, the modal verb will, and the verb in base form. Okay, the original verb as it is. It will rain. But in this case, the use is a little different. In this case, you're using will for predictions. Okay, technically you can also use be going to for predictions, but will is better for this. Okay, so basically those are the two we have. Now, something we need to remember. There are other modals that you can use for the future. Will is the modal for the future. Yes. Okay, it's a prediction. But we are expressing certainty with this prediction. When I say, yeah, it will rain, my attitude is that I am sure that it will rain. Okay, I don't have any evidence, but I am sure. I think it will rain. But you can use other modals too. Okay, and these modals help you to express possibility. It's still a prediction, but it's a possibility. Look at the clouds. Yeah, it may rain. May rain. So here you have three modal verbs you can use. Might, may, or could. Add the verb in base form. In this case, the difference is that it's a prediction, but you are not necessarily sure. You are just mentioning that it's a possibility in the future. It may rain, it might rain, it could rain. Now I put an asterisk on could because remember, we only use could for in affirmative. Okay, if you want to mention this, use could in affirmative. In negative, the meaning of could is an impossibility. So that's the difference, okay? Will rain, it will rain is a prediction with certainty. It may rain. It's a prediction. You're just mentioning the possibility. It's likely, but we have no idea. Certainty, possibility. And there you go. That's the idea of these two tenses, will and be going to. Now, you're probably wondering, teacher, I have extra spaces here. Yes, because there are other structures you can also use for the future. You can use the present continuous for future. Huh, that's new. Let's see. Let's see this situation, okay? Let's imagine that two friends meet on the street. Okay, you see in front of you, you see your friend Camila. And you say, hey, Camila. And then Camila tells you, hi, good to see you. And then you ask your friend Camila, where are you going? And Camila says, I am eating with some friends tonight. I am eating with some friends tonight. Huh, this is the present continuous. But you are talking about the future. How is this possible? Well, simple. The structure is the same as always. The verb to be and the verb with ing. Okay, I am eating with some friends tonight. But in this case, the intentionality or the use of this is a little different. In this case, the use is this. It's an ongoing plan. I am eating with some friends tonight. I am on the. She is on the street, and she is on the way to the restaurant where she's going to meet with her friends. So you see, it's a plan. Yes, that's a plan. But this is a plan in progress. Okay, it's an ongoing plan. And another way to say this is also to express plans. Yes, this is a plan, but this is a definite plan. It's a plan that is definitely going to happen. Okay, you are definitely going there. Okay, unless something very, very out of the blue, something out of the blue comes, but still, the plan that you have is in progress and is definite. Okay, that's in that case is when you use the present continuous for the future. Now, something interesting that you may notice here. You need a time expression or context that explains that you are talking about the future. If you don't include the time expression or some context for this, your idea is just going to be in the present. I am eating with some friends is technically in present. When I say tonight, in that case, it's not present. It's not happening in this moment. This is happening in the future. Okay, so remember that. The present continuous is, you can use present continuous for future, but you need a time expression or context. Okay, sometimes when you have context, you don't necessarily need a time expression. But if you don't have any context, you need to put a time expression to specify that this action is happening in the future. And finally, we can also use the simple present for future. Let's see the situation. Let's imagine that you are on the bus stop. Okay, let's imagine that you are in the bus stop. And on the bus stop, you can check the schedule. I mean, that's not necessarily happen in every country or in every city, but let's imagine you see a schedule in the bus stop. Okay, so you have the schedule, and as you see, every 15 minutes you have a bus. Okay, every 15 minutes you have a bus. So you decide to check the time, and you check your cell phone, and you see, hey, look at the time. So I look at the time, and I look at the schedule, and I can say with some confidence, I can say, the bus comes in 5 minutes. Or I could say, the bus comes at 9 o'clock a.m. So you see, you can use these two structures. You can say, the bus comes in 5 minutes, or you can say, the bus comes at 9 a.m. In the two cases, you're using the simple present. Okay, the bus comes. And don't forget the S, please. For he, she, it, you need to use the verb with S in affirmative sentences. Okay, remember, review the simple present. It's necessary for this. And again, you need a time expression or context. Okay, because we need to know that this is not just a routine, but something that is going to happen in a moment or in the short, near future. Okay, that's the idea. You check the schedule and you check the time, and you can see definitely that this action is going to happen in like 5 minutes. Okay, and we use the simple present in the future for scheduled events, events that are part of a schedule. Okay, if you have classes, that can be considered a scheduled event. Buses and transportation in general, it's also scheduled events. I don't know, your exams and the graduation you have, also, that's a scheduled event. Okay, so these are different ways that you can see the scheduled events. If it's part of the program, that's a schedule. Okay, remember that. So, okay, and to finish, we have the summary. Let's check all of the different ways we can talk about the future. Okay, first of all, we have this part. We can use will to talk about the future. Remember, you can use will for instant decisions or for predictions. But remember, in this case, these predictions, with these predictions, you're expressing certainty. Okay, I will go. It will rain. I will go is an instant decision. It will rain, it's a prediction. Remember, if you want, you can use the modals for possibility. They also refer to the future. Okay, they also refer to the future. The only difference is the intention. In this case, they are mentioning the possibility of the event. The structure is will and the verb in base form. And if you use the modals, the other modals, you can say may, might, or could, and the verb in base form. In this case, the time expressions are optional because this is always future. If a sentence is with will, it's always future. Let's continue with the next one. Be going to. Okay, in the case of be going to, you are going to talk about plans. I am going to go to a concert. I am going to, that's it, the structure for future. Go is the verb. I am going to go to a concert. Okay, in this case, the structure is be going to and the verb in base form. And don't forget, please, the verb to be has to adapt to the subject. Okay, remember, the verb to be has to adapt to the subject. And again, the time expressions in this case are optional because the be going to is always a time expression. It's always a tense for the future. The next one we have the present continuous. If we want to use the present continuous for the future, we're going to express definite plans. Okay, I am eating with my friends tonight. In this case, the structure is the same. The verb be and the verb with ing. But remember, you need a time expression or context that tells me that this is in the future. Okay, if you don't have a time expression or context that tells me that this is in the future, that sentence is in present. Okay, be careful. In this case, the time expression or context or contexts are necessary. We use this for ongoing plans or definite plans. Okay, it's the same. Ongoing plans or definite plans. Plans in progress, plans that definitely will happen. And finally, we have the simple present. We use the simple present for scheduled events. Okay, scheduled events. For example, you look at the schedule, you look at your cell phone, and you see the time, and you can say, the bus comes in 5 minutes. In this case, the structure is the simple present. And remember, you need a time expression or context. And what is the use? We use this to talk about scheduled events. If something is part of a schedule, you can use this. Okay, if something is part of the schedule, you can use the simple present. Okay, graduation ceremonies, dates with the, appointments with the doctor. You can also use it for everything that is transportation. You can use the simple present. Okay, and those are in general all the different ways you can use the future. Okay, you have all of these different tenses. So please remember, study, wash your hands is very important, and don't forget also to give a like and subscribe and share this video with your friends. Okay, remember, study, and well, that's it for now. Bye bye.